Hey guys, welcome back to Magical Miniature Mondays with Resin Belle. I have been gone for a little bit. Sorry guys. So I've had a lot of family stuff happening. My son got married. My daughter graduated from college. We've had a lot of family in town, so a lot of family functions with people I don't get to see very often. So I've been pretty much busy for like the past month, like going and going and going, like having something to do all the time. So hopefully pretty soon things will start to slow down a little bit and I'll have a little bit more time to really get back to making cool stuff. I will also be cutting out, I'm going to be working on cutting out kits this week. So I will have some kits available for the candy carts very, very soon. And yeah, so today I think we have one Honeydukes capsule left and for the candy skeletons, but I think I'm going to save that for next week. So today we're just going to work on a couple of little projects. One for the Borgin Burkes. I keep doing that, y'all. Every single time I mix up those words. One for the Borgin and Burkes cart. And one for Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. So let's get started. Hey, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button for me if you will. It does help my channel out as far as the YouTube algorithm and making sure that my videos get out there and get seen by others, which in turn helps me to be able to create more videos. So I appreciate you in that, and let's get into a couple of small projects. So the first project I want to work on, in the books when Harry was transported to Nocturne Alley, he saw on a shelf in a case a bloodstained pack of cards and a glass eye and a withered hand. So I'm going to work on creating the bloodstained pack of cards. So I had been wanting to find things to fill this Borgin Burkes cart with, and these actually came from Temu months ago, and I have just never got to this project yet. But I'm not really sure where you would find them now, or if you can still find them on Temu. I have no idea. So you could also, you know, kind of print a deck of cards from online if you wanted to, and maybe do it that way. You really don't need to print the whole thing. You could just print one or two cards and then, you know, cut a bunch of blanks to go underneath it, because I'm going to make like a stacked deck, but I'm going to make it kind of, you know, uneven. So first thing I need to do is punch all these little cards out, and so the cards actually have a backing on them, which you won't really see. So I'm just going to punch all these out. Okay, so, and it also comes with like two little boxes. They are printed on the back, but I'm not going to be using those, so I'm going to set those aside. I'll use those for something else, I guess. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip over all of these cards. And, yeah, because I'm going to stack them up. So I won't be using all of these cards because the thickness is, you know, quite thick. And if you stack them all up, you end up getting a huge pile. You know, if I was to stack all these together, that would just kind of look ridiculous. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to take some. I'm thinking that's probably enough. And then I'm going to kind of fan them just a little bit, not a lot. And then I'm going to kind of bend up some of the ones at the top, all right? Kind of distress the edges a little bit, make them look a little more used and cursed, you know? Distress them a little so they don't look so new and, you know, perfect. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll move on. Okay, now I'm going to take my art glitter glue, and we're just going to glue all these together. I'm just going to take a little bit of string and kind of wrap it around here and tie it on the side, just to kind of like look like they're being held together, you know, taking my own liberties with how it would look, right? I'm trying to make a big enough surface that I can add some of the, you know, blood and make it look correct, right? For a prop, for a miniature prop, basically. There we go. Pull this over to the side here. Okay. Alright, so there's my little deck of cards and plenty of space to kind of show that. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use this alcohol ink. It's Brea Reese alcohol ink, and it's called Medium Magenta, and it has this, it's kind of like a deep dark purpley pink, you know, and when it dries it it looks realistic, y'all. It looks like life force. But yeah. But if I go and try to drip this on, you know, it's just going to make a giant blob, and it's just, you won't be able to see any of the cards. So what I'm going to attempt to do is use a paintbrush and try to get, you know, a very fine paintbrush, and try my best to get it to look more realistic. Okay, so that's what I'm working with, a tiny little paintbrush. Let's see if we can, hopefully I can do this. If I mess it up, then I do have some more cards, so see what I can do here. I mean, I guess that's kind of looks like it, right? Okay, I'm gonna call it good, otherwise I'm gonna end up with a completely painted surface. So, all right, well, you know, that's kind of what they look like. Okay, so now that that is finished up, I think I'm going to use some of these little eyeballs in here. Got some little eyeballs. These came from the dollar spot at Target during Halloween. Usually every year they have a different version of like a certain number of these, and they usually have a different label, and they're filled with pretty much the same stuff, but they kind of reimagine it every year. And I've been collecting them for, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years now, so I have a lot of them. But these eyes are pretty cool, so I'm gonna make a little eyeball out of this. And even though, you know, the fronts are the same, the backs are hollow, so I want to create a whole eyeball. So I'm just gonna glue them together, because one of these, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, you can kind of see it, one of these is kind of messed up, it's kind of formed wrong, and it has like a big blue spot in it. So I'm just going to use that one as the back one, and I'm just going to glue them together to make it look like it's a whole eyeball. I might paint it white after a certain period of time, but like for right now, it just looks pretty cool just like that. So I'm going to glue those together. I'm just going to use my art glitter glue because it works pretty good on a lot of different surfaces. And these do have a nice flat surface, so it's pretty easy to attach them together. Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and I got my little eyeball and my little bloodstained deck of cards. I think I'm gonna put them in this cabinet right here. I have this little wand in there. I think I can get that in there, such as, and then I put my little deck of cards in there to kind of keep it from rolling around too much. Just like so. And then I can see the eyeball from whichever direction I'm looking at it, right? Because there's an eyeball and an iris on both sides, basically. Okay. Get that in there. And that'll keep everything from rolling. So, got my little eyeball, my deck of cards, my cursed cards. And then if I turn it around, I could still see a little bit of the eyeball from the inside. So that's kind of cool. Double-sided, you know. So, all right. So there's that. And there is one more thing. I don't know if you guys saw my video on the little miniature laser machine where I created these little... No, this wasn't the mini. This was the Creality Falcon 2 Pro video, and I made these little curio boxes. If you haven't seen that one, I will link it in the description box below. But I love how this turned out, and it just really made me think of this cart. So I think I'm going to put this in this cart because it really kind of goes along with it, right? I think it looks great in there, you know? It's perfect. So cool. All right, so that was the DIYs for those two, and then I think I'm going to decorate my Weasley's Wizard Wheezes shop a little bit, because I had this that I printed off when I printed the box for the extendable ears. Okay guys, so I think I'm going to end the video here. I had another little project I was going to go ahead and do, but you know, sometimes you start making something and it ends up being a whole project. You know, something you think is going to be quick takes 5 hours, and sometimes you make something that you think is going to be 5 hours and it's really quick. So that's what I ran into. So next week's project is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to share it with you guys. So hit that like button and that subscribe button, and I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.